Hello. So I'm on the way to work this morning on this not rainy Friday finally, and just wanted to share some thoughts that I had from the other week actually. So normally this series of videos is a father's thoughts on the father, but in this particular situation it's going to be more a son's thoughts on the father, because that's kind of the context in which this story is going to be happening. So, my dad, or old man as I call him, and I honestly don't know if I started calling him that as like a act of rebellion as a teenager, and it just became an affectionate thing. But it is. I love the guy. He's unique. Let's just say that. But I love him to death. But he is not the most emotional human being on the planet, you know. And he's not someone who just calls me up to chat, right? I talk to him pretty often. But it's usually me calling him. Most of the time, if I get a call from him, it's because something's gone wrong. I mean, really, that's just the truth of it. So, the other day, this was probably last week sometime, I think it was actually last Thursday night or something like that. I was at the house, I think everybody else had gone to sleep. So it was, 9:30, something like that, or 8. So it was late enough that the boys were in bed and Tess had gone to lay down, and I was just in the living room hanging out by myself. And I went to go check on the boys or something. And when I came back to the living room to come sit back down, I heard my phone ringing, and I ran over to pick it up and see who it was. I had a missed call. I was like, I wonder who's calling me this late. Yes, I'm old enough that someone calling me at 8:30, 9 o'clock is like, who's calling me this late? What are you doing? But I hit the button and looked at who the missed call was from, and it said old man. I was like, oh no, that ain't good. Like I said, he never calls just to talk. Usually, it's usually when there's some problem. So I was like, what went wrong? I don't know. So I called him back real quick. I said, hey, old man, what's up? And he said, oh, nothing, son. I just wanted to talk, check on you, see how you're doing. So that was kind of weird, but I was like, okay, cool. So we sat there and talked for about 10, 15 minutes, just talking. Excuse me, just talking about how things are going, how the boys are doing. How my niece and nephew down there are doing, how my sister's doing. We just, chatting for 10, 15 minutes, something like that. And we got to the end of the conversation, and he said, well, all right, son, I know it's kind of late, so I'm going to let you go. Love you, boy. I was like, love you too, old man. And then before he hung up, he goes, by the way, I just want to let you know I'm proud of you. Now, I'm a grown man, okay? And when he said that to me, out of the blue like that, it choked me up and left me speechless. I didn't know what to say. And I'm not someone who's, terribly self-conscious of myself. I'm pretty self-aware. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know my weak. Obviously, I don't know all of them, but I'm aware of who I am and what I am and all that sort of stuff. I'm not someone who seeks out a bunch of, attention and people telling me, "Oh, you're great." I don't really care. For about 95% of the people in the world, for most people, I don't care what they think, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if that's the Christian perspective to have, but it's just the truth. There's a select group of people on the planet whose opinions really matter to me and who I want to have say, I'm proud of you. And my dad's one of them. So, my point there is just to say that I'm not someone who's constantly seeking out affirmation. I don't really concern myself too much with it. So it's not like I'm just always looking for someone to say, "Oh, I'm so proud of you." No, but as a grown man with my own family and everything else I've got going on, in that moment when my father said, "I'm proud of you, son," I didn't even know it, but I needed to hear that. There's still that corner of my heart, that dark corner of my heart that needs to hear my father say, "Boy, I'm just proud of you." And it honestly brought me to tears. And so how do we relate this to the Heavenly Father? Well, in the same way, if you're a follower of Christ, if you know Jesus, somewhere in your heart, and it might not be in a deep dark corner, you might know it and say, "Yeah, I know I need to hear that." Or maybe you think, "Well, I can handle this. I got this." Either way, somewhere in you, there's a part of you that needs to hear your father say, "Son, I'm just proud of you." And the great truth is that one day we will hear him say that. And one day you're going to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." Boy, I'm proud of you. So, just a little encouragement today, really. I don't really have a challenge built in this, but normally there's some sort of challenge where, something we can improve. And this one, I just want to encourage you to say, I know sometimes life can be rough, life can be hard. You can feel like you're a failure. You can feel like you're just not good enough, whatever it is. But our Father, He's proud of you. He loves you. And He'll always be there for you. So that's today's thoughts on the Father from, in this case, the perspective of the Son. Y'all have a great one and all that. Share this with anyone who you think might need to hear it. And as always, just walk worthy and carry on.